Hi. So today I wanted to come here and share a personal story. A story of how I became a full-time healer. Not the romantic version, but the real one. So before a full-time healer, I was a corporate employee. I worked with different companies for over a decade, more than a decade and a half. And then towards last 3 4 years of my uh, corporate employee journey, something strange started to happen. Wherever I will work, either the process would shut down in a year or so, the company would shut down, and me along with my team, we were so forced to leave the job. And I started thinking to myself, am I jinxed? What is happening? Wherever I'm going, it doesn't seem to be working. And I remember I was in a phase where I had decided to take a sabbatical. Again, something, the process shut down, and I like, okay, I will take some time before I look for another job. And what happened during that phase of sabbatical was a friend of mine, still makes me think what he said. A friend of mine came to me and said, Pradeep, you need to be a healer. I'm like, I am a healer to myself and to handful of people, family friends who ask for healing. So he's like, no, you need to be a healer for the world. And I remember I laughed. I was like, okay, that sounds funny, but I'm like, okay, since I'm on sabbatical, I'll take this up. And that's when I realized I decided that I would give myself certain time to be a full-time healer. So 1st January 2020 is when I decided to take up healing as my full-time, I don't like to call it job, but my full-time work. And on 1st January 2020, 10 in the morning, I had my first appointment. And we remember 2020, right? So things were going pretty okay when I started in January. Then March happened. We remember March 2020, the whole world shut down. And we all were, that was a COVID time, we all were locked in our own houses. And that's when I started questioning myself. That's when I questioned my decision. That's when my faith was tested. That's when my patience was tested. And I remember I took good about, more than a week to settle myself down. And I'm like, okay, you know what? We are still going to give it a try. We're going to see how we are going to work, how we're going to reach out to people. And just when I learned to accept this, conversation in my head that, okay, we are going to give it a try. We are going to do our best. Something happened. A friend called and she says, you know what, Believe there's this job. You don't even have to show up for the interview. The offer letter will be given. You're working from home. The salary is decent. How about you take this job? And I remember very clearly when I replied to her, my voice was shaking, but I told her, if I don't do it now, I will never be able to do this for myself. So politely, with gratitude, I said no to the job offer without telling any of my family and friends that I had a job offer. Because that's the day I decided, okay, you know what, we give ourselves another 6 months, see how it works. Otherwise, we can always go back to job. That's what I told myself. And then that start to feel okay, that was my mantra back then. And then something else happened. Another test, I would call it. So I was registered as a freelancer healer on one of the reputed app where people will go ahead and buy a gig to get healing for a certain number of days. So one day somebody purchases a gig and says that this is what not really sharing any information. So when you purchase a gig, you have to tell me this is my name, this is what I need healing for. So I asked this person, okay, I see that you have purchased this gig. What do you want me to heal you for? And this person says the most strangest thing I've ever heard. So this person says that, oh, are you a Reiki grandmaster? I said, yes, I'm a Reiki grandmaster. He's like, okay, you know what? I've been getting dreams that I have to pay a Reiki Grandmaster. So this is what I'm doing here. I'm just going to go ahead and make a very small payment every day to you on this platform. But I don't need any healing. And I was like, excuse me, what? And yeah, that's what he did. I'm like, okay, no. I'm like, okay, you know what? Anyways, I will send him the healing. Can I get your name? Because back then, in that app, there used to be pseudonym. Like, no, I don't want to share any details. I just want to come here and purchase a, small gig every single day. I will pay you. I don't need healing. I don't need anything in return. And that's the thumb rule of one of the thumb rule of healing. We do not take any money without doing the healing, and vice versa. So then I was in a fix. I'm like, okay, what do I do? How do I stop this? I remember, having a conversation with a friend and then writing an email to the support team of the app, asking them that this is what is happening. This person is not taking any services, but still making this payment and purchasing the gig. So they kind of, deducted that amount from my wallet and stopped, kind of blocked the person. That's when I realized, my God, okay, maybe this was another test that, you know, uh, would you take the money without doing any work? And this person is willingly want to pay you without asking for, any work, any healing. And I think in my head, I did pretty okay. I don't know if it was test, not a test, but why am I sharing this story today is that I don't know. I feel somebody is out there listening to this story of mine, the experience of mine, and going through some transition in their life. So if you are somebody who's going through a transition in your life, hold on to your faith. Listen to that little noise within you, which is telling you what is right to do, and do the right thing. Because transition it can be painful, it can be challenging, it will test your patience, it will test your faith. But on the other side of all these tests is what you really meant for, what you really desire. On the other side of all these difficult phases of life is the peace, is the things that you've always desired for yourself. And yeah, this transition, and also I wanted to say that do not let the transition become your life story or your struggle story. So this is not me sharing the struggle story. This is not even a success story. It's a story of a transition. That's it, how you go from one phase to another. By just holding on to that little faith that you have earned over the years, the patience that you have built during that faith, and the little voice, the divine voice within you when you learn to listen to it. That's what the transition is about. This is what this transition has taught me, how to hold on to faith little no longer and with more dedication. This is what this transition has taught me, to be more patient with myself, and how to listen to that little noise. We call it intuitions as well. How to listen to that and stay connected, stay aware of what is happening within you, around you, and how your world is changing. So anybody out there who's going through a transition in their life, I just want to say that stay focused, stay strong in your faith. Uh, Surround yourself with the right people. Talk to the right people if you're going through a transition, if you're going through a challenging phase. Very important. And allow the universe, the divine, to get you out of this faith with grace. Because that's what happened with me. And yeah, I thought I wanted to come here and share today. Thank you for listening to me. Bye.